Well, good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream. I'm going to do your January the 8th spiritual principle day in a meditation. Are you excited about your day? I'm excited about my day. So happy to get home and see my family. And I'm up early, taking care of responsibilities, facing our responsibilities. Okay, January 8th. Yeah, if you're a mom or a parent and you travel, you're always worried about what you're going to come home to. So I've come home and I've seen that, yeah, they don't clean like I clean, and there's a lot of responsibilities to make sure we all have a beautiful Monday. So I'm up early. The title of this meditation, Facing Our Responsibilities. We can no longer blame people, places, and things for our addiction. We must face our problems and our feelings. That comes from the basic text, chapter 3. Why are we here? When we were using, denial shielded us from recognizing the part we played in our destruction. We blamed our circumstances or the people around us for our drug use. Every once in a while, some light would shine through the cracks in our denial. A quiet voice within us said, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting what you're getting. By the time we stumbled into the rooms of NA, self-deception was often second nature. We may have been so used to blaming others that it took work for us to spot this mindset, and still more work for us to fully appreciate its implications. Personal inventories help us understand our distorted sense of reality. We decipher our part, no more, no less, and take responsibility for it. Yes, we may have been intentionally hurtful at times. Just as often, though, our intentions were good, or at least very human. We attempted to wrestle some sense of security and significance from an uncertain world. We put ourselves in a position to be hurt, or we clung to others in hopes that they might save us from ourselves. Understanding the patterns in our thinking and behavior helps us recognize them when they crop up again, as they often do. Some of us are survivors of unspeakable trauma. We have real emotional wounds caused by wartime combat, physical or sexual assault, natural disasters, or extreme poverty. We are not at fault for these horrific experiences. We find ways to reckon with our trauma in our own time, and often with help from resources outside NA. Our responsibility begins when the steps uncover a need for more work. Real healing takes courage and persistence. Recovery gives us the opportunity to know ourselves, to answer to our own conscience, and to put our part, and to own our part instead of blaming forces outside ourselves. I want to reread that sentence, okay? It says, recovery gives us the opportunity to know ourselves, to answer to our own conscience, and to own our part instead of blaming forces outside ourselves. We take responsibility and reap the rewards that come from being accountable for our action. We're capable of feeling the wide range of human emotions and ready to face life on life's terms. I will not hide behind the disease of addiction today, nor will I cast blame on others in my orbit. I will practice responsibility by accepting my part in the problem and my role in the solution. Let's take a moment of silence followed by the reversion of Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you, God. Grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. God, take my will in my life, guide me in my recovery, and show me how to live. Yeah, just for today, please and thank you. Powerful meditation, right? My mind began to wander about halfway through about the second portion of this. No longer blaming other people for the things that happen to us, right? And taking full responsibility for those things. It's twofold. It's not just, that's my fault, my bad. It's part of being the solution as well. It's twofold. Own your part and be responsible for your part, whatever it is. It gives freedom, but it also is daunting. Like, I'm listening to myself read this, and I'm thinking to myself, how many times did I take responsibility only partly? Because I didn't come with the solution. I didn't bring the corrective piece, right? I took the blame and I said, yeah, I did that, but I wasn't mature enough, or I want to say maybe in some instances back then, I didn't have enough faith to act and believe that change could come, even if I had been responsible for relationships ending, that making amends part, right? I wanted to make sure that if I brought the solution, that I also got the benefits of the solution. See, so the motive. And that's what, when I read this, I think this is daunting. If a person is not ready to walk this all the way out, it could actually cause more issues. Because there's nothing worse than dealing with a person that knows they've caused you harm. They've admitted that they've caused you harm. Maybe they've even apologized, but they have made no attempt to make an amends. Because making an amends is not saying that you're sorry. It's being part of the solution. And that, to me, is a act of maturity. Because when a person tells you that they're sorry, and I'm trying to view it from the outside of a situation, right? So that I can further apply myself to it. So just bear with me, because when a person tells you that they're sorry and they take the blame for whatever, but they don't bring the solution, the corrective piece, the amends to it, it can really create a further sense of resentment and distrust. So you mean to tell me you know you did wrong and you don't have any intention other than saying sorry to try and restore the damage? See, this weekend, I don't say just this weekend, I noticed something about some men that I interact with, right? And what I notice is that, and I'm sure it happens with women, but what I notice in my interaction, close interaction with these individuals, these men in early recovery, what I noticed was that there is a readiness to say, I have children and I wasn't there because of my active addiction. I was not there. They're grown now. And all I can do is just work on me and be there if they need me. I notice a lot of the men saying those things. But if you're a child of a parent that has been absent or is no longer there, you know the weight of that and how it affects you. I take care of two great nephews, and they have parents that are alive. But I'm always thinking about what their conversations actually look like with their friends when their friends are talking about their mom and dad, this and that. And what they talk about is their aunt and their uncle. That's why if you met these kids, you would say, that's nothing but God, because they have really, really good spirits, really, really good energy, really happy, loving, giving, willing to serve humanity, willing to challenge abusers and bullies on behalf of others that have no voice. They are giants spiritually. Even as children, they're spiritual giants, and the conversations in our home are far beyond their years. There's good energy here. People come here and they'll tell you, it's like you don't hear a sound. You hear it's nothing but a babbling brook. It's my fish tanks make this loud babbling brook noise throughout the whole house, and that's what you hear, not yelling voices, right? But my mind is, like I said, I've just wondered what that is feeling like. And they were like, they don't even think about it. And I'm sure as they get older, they'll think more about it. And I've just been blessed to have the opportunity to fill in the gaps in their life this way. But I have a problem with individuals that can tell you that they've messed up. They can take ownership, but not do anything to correct it. It really seems like they think just saying sorry is enough. But all of the damage of a child not having a parent, it's unspeakable. The impact of that in their psyche, right? So we don't want to be like that. If we've been like that, or say maybe like some people I know, they've lost custody of their children, and the children are still too young to find them or look for them, right? In those instances, that repair may not be possible until the child becomes grown. But when that moment happens and they do find you and look for you, one thing is sure, two things certain. You need to be prepared spiritually for that interaction. And two, there will be some anger and resentment, but there will also be some love expressed, even in the anger. It's nothing, it speaks loads to how much they missed you, right? And being able to give them something, if it's nothing more than open ears and an open heart, to listen to them without trying to justify why you were absent. That is a beautiful thing for them. that will do loads. That is a level of responsibility and facing our responsibilities. And I just believe when we know better, we do better. This is a beautiful meditation, and it's worth your time to go back over it and look at it from that angle. In the Just for Today, I was saying we can't hide behind our addiction. We can't blame it on, that was the addict. My disease took over. No, we don't get that. That's done. That's old news, right? We don't get to do that. So today, let's move forward, not hiding behind our disease of addiction and not casting blame on others just because it's easier. It takes off the responsibility of actually having to make some changes and make some amends. But we're going to practice responsibility. And part of that is accepting our part in the problem, but also our role, the part that we play or should be playing in the solution. And you know what? I have every confidence. I have every confidence that you can do this. You can do this. I don't care how heavy it seems, the part that you played in it. I don't care how heavy it seems. It's not worth ending your life. It's not worth another hit. Right? We don't want to have a permanent solution for a temporary situation. So no matter how dark it appears to be, Mighty Stream is standing here on the other side of this computer, and I'm telling you that there is light at the end of the tunnel, but in order to get there, you have to stay here. Okay? In order to get there, you have to stay here. You have to stay in the living, in the here and now, in order to get to that light. And it requires rolling your sleeves up. And I know you can do it. I know you can do it. My name is Mighty Stream. If you need to reach me, feel free to do so at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. And I look forward to seeing you at some of these Zoom meetings that I'm on. I'm looking forward to seeing you, and I hope that you will have a beautiful day on purpose. Make it great.